This is where all the atmospheric electricity is stored, processed, converted into probably our 220. Interesting place for it. There's no wires going to it. There's not one wire going to it. I find that super interesting. Looks fairly new too. A lot of tracks and dirt dug up, and interesting. That's my neighborhood's local Tesla coil, or whatever you want to call it. Atmospheric harvesting. The 5G thing, dudes. Relax on the 5G. That's misdirection. They want us thinking these are putting out 5G and all that stuff, and it's gonna hurt us. And yeah, some of the signals they put out affects us, of course. But the 5G is just misdirection. All they're doing is upgrading these things for more efficient atmospheric electricity harvesting. But they need an excuse to get up there and work on them and upgrade them. They create the conspiracies, guys. All the big, famous conspiracies are all created to misdirect us from the real conspiracies going on, and they get everybody latched on the fake ones. Conspiracies are a hoax, while they do the real conspiracy. Same with these chemtrails. Same deal, dudes. These are for communications and transferring, signals, and they're harvesting atmospheric electricity and powering everything that way. And these trails help with transferring those signals. They're not poisoning us. I know everybody wants to keep thinking that chemtrails are poisoning us, and I get it, but that's one of their fake conspiracies. It's misdirection. Really kind of the biggest secret, one of, if not the biggest, is that they are hiding free energy. And they will say and do anything to misdirect us. Even spray these, probably when they don't even need to. They don't want to poison their host. We are their host. We are their food. We are their source of energy. Who's they? The ones running everything. Are they human? Probably not. I'm not saying from outer space or anything like that, but some sort of, other realm. And, fetus. Fetus. A fetus is feed us. And, the Garden of Eden is the Garden of Eden. Alright, dudes, just a little, just out here walking around. And I live right by this thing. No wires. Interesting. Alright, peace. These two followed just about the same path. A little different. That's the other thing, is they're not going down. That's perspective. They're going flat across the sky, because our sky is flat. And so when it looks like they're going down, they're not going down, they're just going away. And due to our perspective, it looks like it's going down. The same thing with the sun. It moves away, and it looks like it's going down. Same thing is happening with the planes, the way they fly. You're not in a plane and it's curving down all the time. It's going flat across the sky, because the sky is flat. We live in some sort of cube. You can even tell when the sun hits the real shape of what we're in. It's pretty much a hexagon. Some sort of hexagon cube shape. But you could see the sun is not a circle there. That's just clouds distorting the light, but right there you can see the real shape. I know, camera lens effect, yada, blah, blah. I don't even want to hear it, dudes. That's just what they tell us. Gotta forget everything we're told. Rethink it. Stars are not what they seem. I got this camera about a year ago, specifically to start looking at the moon and the stars. Try to kind of figure that stuff out. And since then, they've revealed a lot of truth to me. Kind of in the way of almost getting downloads. Once you start kind of getting familiar and comfortable with and building a relationship with the stars and the moon and the sun, you start to realize that they are communicating information to us. And that's more what they're for than anything else. It's their information storage by the way of schematics. If we connect all the stars a little bit differently than what the constellations are a hoax. They're binary code. But also, there's knowledge that comes from them that can literally download into you. It's about being open to the transmission. Anyway, it's been a crazy year, and just trying to figure this stuff out. Because one thing I know for sure is most of everything that we've been told is bullshit. So We have to do our own observation, our own thinking, our own getting outside of our comfort zone and getting outside the box, go out on a limb. Or we're not going to figure it out. Because right now, all we have to depend on as far as our knowledge of space and a lot of other things are the words of people who tell us what it is. You wait out, like, you want to do good, and you want to try to spread truth and talk about that stuff, and you genuinely want to do that. And I love writing music, and I love the art of creating stuff. And I've always written music. I always wrote lyrics about truth, but I didn't even know, I knew I was talking about truth, but I didn't know how deep the lyrics really went until I've listened to them later in life. And I think even at the time, a lot of those lyrics from all of my older songs, even at the time, I was like, what does this even mean? But I read back on them now and it makes sense, and I was kind of always on that path. And then it kind of, you know, things change. So then it gets into a different year, a different time. I love photography. I've been doing photography forever too. So when I finally got this camera, you know, I started turning what I would normally do in music and write songs and lyrics and all that, and what I think about, and started pouring that information that's in my brain about the world we live in into video. And I didn't know what I was fucking doing in the beginning. Like, I never made videos. I never made them. I might have shot video on my phone, but I never produced videos and put them together. So it became a new obsession, because it was like this new way to, it was a new medium of art and communication, because that's all music is when you're writing songs and writing music. It's about communicating. It's about communication. That's all music and art is. It's communication. And so video production became that next way to do that. And I found that no matter what content I might put into a song, if I was to take that same content that I might put into a song and put into a video, and instead of singing those words, I talk those words, the response is very different. And I've learned a lot about the psychology of people communicating one subject two different ways, and then the response you get. If it's in music, usually everybody really digs it. If it's in video, it's a whole other beast. It's a whole other beast. And it's very insightful though, because you start to learn that perspective is everything. And then you can start to also realize how our, I call it mediotic, but the mediotic world that we live in is coming at us through our screens all the time. Most of our world we see through our screen, how it can be manipulated on us. And that got me into also wondering about how are they manipulating the actual cameras so that our views are skewed that way too. So it's all about perspective. It ended up where truth-seeking became more about realizing that it's about our perception of reality is what is being controlled more than anything. Because our reality is that we can, like, you know, look at a map, and what we've been told to think and what the words are and the shapes are on that map are what we are being told. I didn't make this map. I didn't print this. I didn't write this. So this is something that's being told to me. So if I choose to let my perspective agree with that, then all of a sudden this is my perspective of the world we live in. So it's all about perception. It became mostly about perception. And it's also about finding people to connect with and that you can resonate with and learn from each other. We need to learn from each other. And yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, it's such a thing. And it's been like this really kind of interesting and fun year of figuring out different ways to communicate. I love making art. I love writing and creating. I love photography. I love going. I run around. I've spent thousands of hours running around getting footage. Maybe not thousands. You know, literally, probably at least hundreds of hours, driving to different locations for rocks and fossils and cityscape and landscape, and all enjoying every second of it because I love it all. And formulating as I'm taking footage the same way I would when I would write a song and I'm writing lyrics and coming up with a melody and chords and formulating how you want to communicate what you're recording and computing. So it's been a fun year learning how to do this, and I'm going to keep going. You know, as much as hard as I can. You know, there's things in the kind of this physical world we live in too, this physical matrix that sucks us back in every now and again. You have to focus on that a little bit, and you know, but those are the times that you learn. So yeah, I've thought about like, do I need to stop doing this? And then I think no, because this is the way you communicate and this is the way you can connect, and maybe some people will resonate with that, and then some more learning can happen, and we can get those little doses of happiness that we all deserve. Nobody should be more miserable than the next, right? We should all share the misery equally. So, just some thinking.